Hi guys, I'm going to try to talk you through the process. So right now I'm just adding sugar, water, and corn syrup into my pot. This is what we use to boil and make our marshmallow syrup that we add later to our next step, which is water and gelatin in a mixing bowl. You want to make sure you do this part first so you allow the gelatin time to bloom. It'll kind of look like a weird applesauce, and that means it's ready for the syrup whenever your syrup comes to the right temperature. The right temperature for your syrup is around 240 degrees Fahrenheit. This is the softball stage. You don't want to go beyond this or you will have hard, sticky sugar in your bowl. When you're streaming in your syrup, you want to stream it in slowly. This gives your gelatin a chance to dissolve and make sure that you're not going to spray burning hot sugar syrup all over yourself, which is super important. After it's been whipping for a little bit, you can start to turn up the speed because it won't splatter as much. And at this point, you want to whip your marshmallows on a high speed for around 12 minutes. They'll look really, really white and fluffy and have tripled in size. If this doesn't happen, something went wrong. Once they're really white and fluffy, that's when you want to add your flavorings, your purees, anything you want to use to make your marshmallows something different. In this case, I decided to use raspberry puree because I love raspberry the most. These are the final steps when it comes to making your marshmallow, and this is the easy part. We're just going to take it out of the bowl and try not to get too sticky. Once you get marshmallow somewhere, you get it everywhere, so try to be as careful as possible. I have a pan ready. It's lined with parchment and as well as icing sugar dusted all over the sides. This is really important because if you do not dust with icing sugar, your marshmallow will stick to your pan and you'll have a really, really difficult time getting it out. You want to make sure to spread your marshmallow as evenly as possible around your pan. This might seem kind of silly, but if you don't do this, you'll end up with some giant marshmallows and some mini marshmallows. For this, I did really, really giant marshmallows. They turned out really big and fluffy, almost as big as my hands, which you'll see in the final section of this video. But I would use a smaller recipe if you want more bite-sized marshmallows. Once it's all set overnight, you can pull it out of the pan. You see you kind of end up with a brick of marshmallow. You're going to peel off all of your parchment paper. And at this point, I like to dust it a little more. And then I grab a ruler and start to measure out so that all of my marshmallows are the same size. Usually for a pan like this, I used a 10 by 10. I would be doing about 100 marshmallows. But because we're doing jumbos, I do 36. I cut 6 lines across one way, I think actually 5 only, and 5 across the other way, and that'll give me a 6 by 6 grid. I just score it at first, and then I go through after, and I cut all the way through. Now, every side you cut is going to be super sticky, so you want to roll it in some icing sugar to make sure it doesn't stick to your hands or your bag or wherever you're going to put them, your mouth. And then you can go through and cut each of them, and that's pretty much it. They can stay at room temperature in an airtight container for about 2 weeks. If you're not going to finish them all, which I probably won't, you can freeze them and save them for summertime s'mores.